Something every actor should know while playing a spy is how to hold a gun. Hi, I'm Maya Erskine.
And I'm Donald Glover.
And this is how we became Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You want us to do it right, or?
No, that's fun. I like that. That was fun.
I feel like our gun trainers were really good because they were, they've seen a lot of actors hold guns in shows and they get really peeved by certain tells.
Yeah, there was a lot of I think everybody always wants to be like that. And he's like, they don't do that. They do that.
Yeah, right.
Like that thing where you're like, he's like, why would you do that? Like, it takes too much time.
And then
you just
also not like wincing with one eye. It's like you need both eyes open.
Right,
that was something
right.
that you just want to go
like, why would you
do
that?
It looks cool.
Yeah, like a lot of things that we think of that so I feel like Jack Reacher. I was just trying to be Jack Reacher the entire time. The entire time. I made her call me Jack.
I liked thinking of Sigourney Weaver from Alien. Just the moments when she was very steely, and that was a big inspiration. And then Jane Birkin was just kind of the physical inspiration. And Fran was my inspiration sometimes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, here and there.
That makes sense.
To believably create chemistry, I mean, it was a lot of work. A lot of work on our own. I had to journal about Donald and do dream analysis.
Dream therapy.
No, I mean, it was very easy. I felt like you were one of my friends from college.
No, yeah.
Okay. I know you don't think I'm cool enough to be your friend. But...
I don't know. I just don't know. I feel the same way. I feel like I've known Maya way longer than we actually know each other. Like, it's very strange.
But it mirrored real life in that the order in which we shot everything was the pilot and then the second episode, so it is a meet cute. So we were really getting to know each other in the beginning, and then I feel like our chemistry got even stronger and grew as we filmed because we just got closer
and we just knew each other at that point. This is your first time in New York?
Should we be asking each other that? Have you ever killed anyone?
No. Not really.
Really?
No. Maya's really good at...
I'm scared. What are you going to say?
What? What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know. Go, say it.
Maya's... I feel like she's really good at, remembering things. As far as
and Donald's not.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not really I'm not good at remembering because I am kind of you used a very gentle term which was like Donald's very present.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, I guess and I think that allowed me to lay into that. I mean, the character of John a lot more because he's kind of like that, and he's like, yeah, it's all jazz, baby.
Yeah.
We'll improv it, which I like to do. But you have to plan a lot more, and I feel like she is a planner, and I think she does think about those things, and it forced me to be planner. She knew what this was before. Like she'll be like, oh, we have Rotten Tomatoes at 12, 15. Like I'll be like, you saw the schedule.
I know. Well then, and then we would talk about this that Donald. I think I've told you the story, but our nutritionist when we were training for this would talk to me and say if I tell Donald to eat a carrot, he'll just say okay, and he'll eat a carrot. And then if I ask you to eat a carrot, Maya, you ask, can I saute it? Can we put butter in it? And can I put a little cheese? And she's like, you negotiate. Whereas Donald, I feel like is and your character, which did help me, is like, you tell me to jump, I'm gonna jump up.
Because he's a soldier.
He's a soldier, right?
So it's like, yeah, this is what I have, and you get what you get, and you don't get upset.
And I think that just helps open Jane up, and it helps me. It helped me loosen up. So I think it helps me get into the character.
You're sitting underneath a shelter I made. I made this fire. I got you this fish.
Shelter, food, fire, water.
I was saying this before. I think we improv'd a lot of the. There's a lot of improvisation with the arguments. I think arguments-wise, it's just hard to argue.
We would have the script and a spine and then go off of it sometimes because we would bring in our own, techniques of arguing.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody argues different. But it's also just hard to argue off the script, and we didn't have to. Like, we didn't have to hit it exactly. And I remember there was one night where it was a big argument that we got rid of. We all got
together.
Yeah, we all got together with Fran, and we were like, okay, we don't need that. We didn't need this. Like, and I was floored at how well we pulled that off, because I was like, we're tired, and like we really shouldn't remember, like, and then you jump to this and then you do that, but because we were allowed to like improv, it was.
And I think we had been in it for so long by that point that we were like, okay, A goes to B and then C, got it, I'll see.
Cool. Yeah.
With very special things, with angel songs, with wild imaginings.
I should be dead.
He fills my.
We didn't train. We trained side by side sometimes.
Well,
we didn't have the same train. Like you would be doing.
I tend to work out really in the morning, and then you would come a little bit later. But we had choreography. Obviously, we had to do it together.
We would rehearse that. I like calling it rehearsal. That's probably not what it is, but it felt like a dance.
Oh yeah,
it is a dance.
Yeah, fight choreography.
Yeah, I feel like my character, she, especially in episode 8, it's dirty. Like it's like a cat. Like I feel like that's Jane, very vicious and can let her emotions. When she's incredibly angry, that takes over her fighting style. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you might be more measured, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I feel like, it's like, I tried to fight. I tried to make it, like, technically good, but also kind of, like, I like it when it looks like a struggle. Like, I feel like, especially, like, in the last couple episodes, like, we would fight, and then, but I was like, I want to show how quickly you get tired. Like, I think people forget how quickly you have a bunch of energies for those first things, but after a few things, like you watch boxing, it's like, they're always, people are like, why are they laying on each other? It's like, well, it's very hard.
Yes.
What they're doing is
it's so
very
true.
hard. So I tried to like work that in. So it's like measured, but then by the end, like in a couple minutes, you're like, I'm trying really hard to keep it together.
I feel like in this show, a lot of the missions, and I think it's designed this way, are to provoke or sort of poke holes at our own insecurities. So something that, John might be doing in a mission, which could be like calling someone, it might unleash this insecurity that Jane has, that why are you on your phone so much? Who are you talking to? Which is what Donald and Fran like to call the spy sandwich, when the spy trope can be married into the relationship.
I think like Fran was, she always had a really good hold on like the idea of each episode is a relationship goal, like a boundary, like a kind of like a tent pole of the relationship, and they're like kind of named that way too. So she was really good about like, it's influencing us as a spy, but it's really also a relationship, like, buoy. And I think like that really always, like, for me, that was like kind of a North Star in each episode, where it's like, what am I learning in this episode, as far as like, it's like, okay, like, we have to share space in this episode. We're on our vacation. This is the first time we're ever really been in a room. Like, so this is what I'm learning this as a relationship, but also as a spy.
I'm scared.
I mean, they all really do help further, I think, John and Jane's character development, but I feel like Parker Posey and
Wagner, but also like Michaela.
Michaela, for sure.
I feel like Michaela's like character was a turning point for.
It was a turning point for our relationship, but so were the
that scene with you guys is great.
Still haven't seen it. She's amazing, but it was
really good.
I guess she was a turning point for our characters in that it was the first time you get to see, I think it's the first time you get to see Jane really reveal her deep feelings for John and her fears about him and where they stand in a couple, and the first sign of breaking or going outside of your relationship, what that means. And establishing trust. And then I think with Parker and Wagner, it was like the first time you see John and Jane really be aligned together in a way that I feel like a lot of couples can relate to, and I feel like it was written so well, but of us making fun of the other couple at the end of a dinner party.
It's just a job. It is not life and death. Do you feel better?
We had done that. It's funny, like that episode got done last. One of the last episodes. So we had done a bunch of stuff already, and it was interesting rehashing that stuff.
Well, I felt like it was starting to feel like the therapist was favoring John, and that was making me really uncomfortable. And it brought out all these feelings that I felt like Jane was going through, of feeling like this isn't fair. She just likes you more, and was missing the point of the therapy. But
it was fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun setup because it's like, yeah, it just feels real. Like I feel like that's what's cool about it. It's like it's just it's like the farther you run away from yourself, there you are. Like you can't get over escape it. It's like we're going here to get help, and it's like, but the same problem. Just there, so.